Back in their sanctuary, the vampires analyzed their failed heist. Amidst the discussion, Isabella uncovered a hidden message in the museum's blueprints, suggesting the orb's true location was never in the museum. The revelation pointed to an underground auction where the supernatural elite traded forbidden artifacts. The orb was to be the centerpiece of the next event. Victor, recognizing the auction's host as an old adversary, proposed a daring plan to infiltrate the gathering. This time, their approach needed to be more cunning and less confrontational. Preparations began in earnest. Mikhail sourced disguises and invitations, while Isabella worked on creating illusions potent enough to deceive the supernatural attendees. As they readied themselves, the tension was palpable. This was more than a heist now. It was a mission to right a wrong and to reclaim what was theirs by any means necessary. Cloaked in their disguises, the vampires arrived at the location of the underground auction. A derelict warehouse, its exterior belied the opulence within, where the supernatural elite mingled. Victor, adopting the persona of a long-forgotten noble, navigated through the crowd with ease. His familiarity with ancient customs allowed them to blend in seamlessly. Isabella, under the guise of a renowned collector, used her charm and wit to gather information. She learned that the orb was indeed the night's grand prize and was heavily guarded in a private chamber. Mikhail, posing as a bodyguard, surveyed the security layout. He noted the presence of enchanted guards and mystical barriers, obstacles that required careful maneuvering. As the auction commenced, the tension among them rose. They were in the lion's den, surrounded by enemies and rivals, all unaware of the true nature of the interlopers in their midst. The auction was a spectacle of the arcane and the forbidden. As items of immense power were traded, the vampires waited for the orb's appearance, their anticipation building. When the orb was finally presented, it cast a mesmerizing glow, captivating the audience. Victor, maintaining his composure, subtly signaled Isabella and Mikhail to initiate their plan. Isabella, using her illusionary skills, created a diversion. A phantom bidder entered the fray, driving attention away from the real prize and causing a stir among the attendees. Mikhail used the distraction to slip away, heading towards the chamber where the orb was kept. He overcame the mystical barriers with a combination of brute force and enchanted tools they had prepared earlier. With the orb in hand, Mikhail signaled his success. However, their triumph was short-lived as the auctioneer, a powerful warlock, sensed the disturbance and raised an alarm, throwing the event into chaos. Chaos erupted as the warlock's alarm reverberated through the auction. The supernatural elite panicked, their avarice turning to fear as they realized the orb was stolen. Victor, Isabella, and Mikhail regrouped, the orb securely in their possession. Their escape, however, was far from guaranteed, as the warlock unleashed his wrath, summoning spectral hounds and barriers to block all exits. Isabella's illusions became their shield, creating false images of the trio to mislead their pursuers. This gave them precious moments as they navigated through the labyrinth of the warehouse. Mikhail, with the orb in tow, used his strength to break through a weakened wall, creating an unexpected exit. The cold night air hit them as they emerged, the sounds of the chaotic auction fading behind them. Yet their relief was short-lived as they realized the warlock's curse had followed them. A sinister fog began to envelop them, a sign that their escape was far from over, and that the warlock's vengeance was relentless. Escaping into the night, the vampires found themselves in a race against the warlock's curse. The fog was unrelenting, a spectral entity that seemed to feed on their fear and desperation. They sought refuge in an abandoned church, a temporary sanctuary where the curse's influence waned. Inside, they examined the orb, its power now within their grasp, yet the cost of their victory weighed heavily on them. Victor revealed that the orb could grant them power to stand against their enemies, but at a price. It required a sacrifice, a binding of their fates to the artifact itself. After much deliberation, they agreed to the sacrifice, understanding that the path they chose was laden with danger, but also the potential for greater power. The ritual was performed, and they felt the orb's energy coursing through them, an ancient force awakening. As dawn approached, they left the church, their bond with the orb sealed. The city lay before them, a canvas of endless possibilities and looming threats. Their journey had ended, but their saga was just beginning, a tale of shadows, blood, and undying ambition.